Okay, look, Millennium Falcon. I want to give a trigger warning because I talk about mental health topics and specifically suicidality in a really blunt, straightforward way because I've lived with this stuff for so long that it's normalized in my head. And I think that will become clear what I mean by that as things go along. I got this email from my mom today, and she was telling me about all these things that she's doing on her farm. And then she said something like, well, that's my boring life. And I thought, I don't think of my life as exciting. I don't think of my life as the opposite of boring, but I do travel a lot, and I am currently living in Ukraine. So I guess that's a thing. I came here for altruistic reasons, absolutely. I came to Ukraine because I have this expertise in military mental health, and I felt like I could be helpful, right? Absolutely, that's the reason I came. Mixed in there is also my inability to just live at home and do nothing. And that does have to do with my own mental health and my own need for purpose, but I was 99.9% sure that if I just sat at home and did nothing, I would eventually die by suicide. And I don't mean that I'm actively suicidal. I'm not actively suicidal. I wasn't when I came to Ukraine. I'm still not actively suicidal. Don't have a plan. I wouldn't kill myself. However, I understood that coming to Ukraine and doing volunteer work here could potentially put me at risk for death, among other things. And it felt like an honorable way to die. I'm not afraid to die. I think about death a lot. I think about suicide, I would say probably more often than most. I had to decide a long time ago that it was not an option for me. That doesn't mean I don't think about it. And I try to normalize thoughts of suicide without any actions behind them because in American society, I can only assume Ukraine is similar, that it's very unacceptable, that if you're thinking about suicide, you are a fucked up person and you need to get help. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I think there are levels of suicidality that can be managed and lived with. And I think that because I'm living proof of that. So I stay in Ukraine for more selfish reasons. It gives me purpose. Being here and knowing that I can volunteer in a variety of ways that are helpful to veterans, helpful to the war, helpful to different pieces, gives me a lot of purpose and distracts me from my own unresolved issues. One of my really big focuses, one of the things I think is important is that nobody gets to tell you when or how you are going to deal with your own shit. It's your shit. If you don't want to deal with it, don't deal with it. I have a little box of stuff and I joke that it's on the shelf. I know it's on the shelf. I can see that it's on the shelf. I know I will need to deal with it eventually. Inside that box is the fact that I need to find a new therapist. And that's a whole bunch of pain in the ass that I don't want to deal with right now. So the box is on the shelf. I know it's on the shelf. I know it needs to be dealt with. I've chosen not to deal with it right now. It's my shit. It's my prerogative. If I don't want to deal with it right now, I don't need to. It will be dealt with eventually. It'll probably become more obvious that that needs to be dealt with at some point. And that's when I'll do it. In the meantime, it's my shit. If I wanted to sit on the shelf, that's where it's gonna sit. So the work I do in peer support is normalizing a lot of stuff that other people want to tell you differently how to live your life. And I am somebody who has always done whatever the hell I want, but I found ways to do that were healthy for me. And so I try to make a point to share that with others dealing with similar stuff. So this is part one of, I don't know how many. we'll just keep going till we get all the topics out, right?